Oh son, what's good, my boy? Today's video is I'm finally putting to rest all this bullshit confusion around the word purpose. Whenever I started my self-improvement journey about 3 years ago, I was new to it. I had just lost a little bit of weight and I started feeling super confident from losing this weight for the first time in my life. I'd always, my whole teenage years, been just like this fat fucking loser virgin guy, and I just kind of floated around smoking weed to numb the fucking noise in my head, constantly playing video games. I just never gave myself a second to think or be bored or have any other outlets besides just fucking trying to be as comfortable as possible. And I woke up one day after losing this weight. I started feeling confident, and I looked down and I had abscesses on my body. It was very foreign to me, and through over a course of a couple months, I came to find out that I have some rare genetic autoimmune disorder that really fucks with me. I've learned to monitor it and keep it dormant through diet, exercise, yada yada yada. But whenever I started off on this thing 3 years ago, I was lost. I felt like a fucking loser. I felt like everything I'd worked for in the past month of losing a little bit of weight was for nothing, and I was just truly in great despair. And then I'm scrolling on YouTube and I start seeing all these videos pop up on self-improvement. At the time, being a fat fucking virgin, I wanted nothing more than to finally get some attention from some females, right? I'm scrolling YouTube and whatnot, and I see two main videos pop up that really sparked my attention. One of them, and the first one that sparked my attention, was these videos about how to get girls, pickup artist videos, all this shit. As a fat guy who had underperformed almost my whole fucking life up until that point, it really sparked my interest. After about a year or so of going through this hedonistic bullshit and really just not gaining anything from it but some sort of satisfaction that I'm enough, I divulged into that second video type that I saw. Purpose. Oh, how to find your purpose. All these fucking British motherfuckers and just random accent self-improvement YouTube people. It was a vast array of self-improvement guru people talking about how to find your purpose. Some more helpful, some made more sense. You'd get some answers out of them, and they would say certain things that would resonate, like, oh, your purpose is just finding ways to monetize your interest. Well, newsflash, if you're on self-improvement for any longer than 2 years, your interests fucking change, especially if you're young. If you're a young, impressionable male from the age of 13 to 25, your interests are going to change like that, day to day. I mean, especially if you're like me, where I'm riddled with ADHD. So, I go along, I'm absorbing all this content, really just wasting my time. I already know what I want to be doing, but I'm just consuming this content as almost like a drug. And really, the reason why I separated the relationship category and the purpose category is because purpose is a much longer and drawn out process. It's not as simple as learning how to use Tinder, going around hooking up with a bunch of girls, getting in shape where you feel confident enough to do so, and then just running the ringer with a bunch of hoes off of Tinder. That shit's easy. But whenever it comes to purpose, this is where you start playing head games. You think you find it, and then you realize it's not really for you after a couple months, and you get bored of it. That process goes on for a while. Then you find something, oh, this is exactly what I want, and you go on with that for even longer. And then you still, at the end of that, feel some sense of, oh, I really don't know if I want to do this for the rest of my life. That's such a commitment. You'll feel that with almost anything you choose, right? And after 3 years in this self-improvement, and probably one of the best headspaces I've been in my whole life, confidence-wise, my health, my body, my money, I finally have realized purpose isn't this tangible job. It's not this thing that you apply for and you take a salary from. That's not what your purpose is. Your purpose is yourself. And whenever I say that, it could be some cringy shit that some white bitch gets tattooed above her ass crack with butterflies around it. It's that cliche. But truly, your purpose is yourself. That magical feeling that all these people describe from having attained their purpose is the feeling of laying your head down at the end of the day and being able to go, because you did everything you needed to. When I say yourself, whenever I say you are the purpose, your purpose is not this one thing. Your purpose is all of these activities you do repeat on repeat consistently each day. Going to the gym to build a body, learning more and educating yourself through books, information online, so and so forth. It is getting your diet dialed in. It is having a career in some way to monetize something that you enjoy. It doesn't have to be perfect. It is knowing that you are inspiring good into this world. You don't have to be making content or videos online. It could be as simple as helping the old lady carry her groceries into her house, or helping cleaning limbs out from your neighbor's lawns during a storm. It's all these things you do that make you feel confident and have a good amount of self-esteem about yourself. They all add up, and it all adds up to kind of what I tie to it is David Goggins' 40% rule. David Goggins' whole philosophy, I've read both of his books, and it's really one of the least self-help-like things. Whenever I say that there's no scamminess, there's no conniving bullshit, there's nothing. It's just a man explaining the hardships he went through and what he's learned from it. And what he says is that a lot of this life is about suffering and the things you learn through suffering and callousing your mind to deal with things in life. And he mentions this 40% rule and how most people are working these 40-hour work weeks and they have 40 extra hours to spend on top of it, that they just come home, lay back, drink some fucking beer, watch TV, come home from college, smoke some fucking weed, get on League of Legends, get on World of Warcraft, get on Fortnite, and they just fuck off for the rest of the day. But the 40% rule, the meaning behind it, is those 8 hours doing something positive in between. Now, my day, I'm very consistent. Every once in a while I slip up, and it's really worse whenever I slip up and don't get the shit I want done in the day, because then it's like that whole thing with it's regret is worse than actually not doing it, because then I just eat it myself. I can't even sit down without being like, oh, you stupid motherfucker. I battle myself in the head, but I just took a shower. I don't want to go outside. You stupid motherfucker, go do that shit. You know it's going to make you feel better, yada yada. That's the mental battle you will have if you don't get your shit done whenever you actually bout it. See, my whole schedule revolves around me waking up every morning at 5 a.m. No cliche shit. I have to do that because I got to be at work by 7:30, which is a 30-minute drive. Wake up 5 a.m. Immediately, it's dark outside, and let me grab it real quick. 5 a.m., I wake up. I live on 50 acres of woods, and I got trails to this motherfuckers. And I take my headlamp. It's dark as shit. It's dark as shit. It feels like the boogeyman's out there in the fucking woods. And I run about anywhere from 2 to 4 miles every day. And then after that, I come back and get me a pump on. Through doing all this physical shit, I found that the bro split and workouts have been the best for me. It limits the exhaustion on my muscles, and I can really just push 1 day a week on one muscle group, and I still grow pretty good. But I do that, then I come back and I read a couple chapters out of a book, make my lunch, I'm out the fucking door. Get to work, and I'm a general contractor. I build houses, additions, any sort of tradesman work, from electrical to welding to fucking running plumbing to doing concrete work to roofing. A lot of my experience is in roofs and structural shit like that, architectural. But I'm working on an outdoor living room, 700 square foot, just me and one other person. We build this shit along with a couple other jobs. I come back home. I get me a fucking water out of the fridge, drink some water, and then I read a little bit more out of the book, or I'll watch a podcast, or I'll watch some of a podcast, watch a couple videos that I handpick so I don't drain my fucking mental battery too much. Then I make these YouTube videos. In the past, I was making I was doing all that shit and also making 5 TikToks and 2 YouTube videos, and I was overworking myself. But now I've pretty much got this shit dialed in. And I use a lot of this YouTube shit. I got the fucking iron discipline now, dog. I don't need none of that shit. From where I used to be 3 years ago, fat and depressed, I've truly found my purpose. if you can say that. It is just myself. My purpose is to just keep doing the shit that I know will better my future and my future present existence and delay the gratification. I used to drink till blackout almost once a week. I used to smoke 8 to 10 grams of bud every day with a gram of wax on top of that. I used to smoke 6-7 dabs out of a dab rig before school, my senior year. I used to just constantly try to silence my mind. I used to constantly try to just not... I used to think I enjoyed life through being comfortable, but now I truly can understand. Fulfillment in life does not come through staying happy and being joyful. It comes through being prideful in oneself. Knowing what you do every day accounts for something. You're delaying things. Every day you're working towards a goal in the future that will eventually be accomplished. See, old son, I really believe your true purpose in life is through accomplishing something you believe impossible that you truly want. I'm going to leave this video with one of my favorite quotes ever. It's from Nietzsche. I know of no better life purpose than to perish attempting the great and impossible. The fact that something seems impossible should not be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges. Keep on grinding, old son. Chase paper and enjoy nature, and know it gets better. Have a great day.